The Order of the Sith is one of the oldest Force cults in the history of the galaxy, and throughout the centuries, hundreds of members have joined their ranks in some capacity or another. While the Rule of Two largely did away with the Sith Council and formed a more rigid hierarchy within the practice, the designations of the Sith ranks continued to be a mainstay of the group, despite centuries of evolution. So what do the Sith ranks mean? What titles denote certain rights and privileges within the Sith culture? And who are some of the most notable individuals to hold each respective title? Well, stick with us today, weary acolytes of the galaxy, and let's dive into the Sith ranks. First though, according to our analytics, a lot of you guys that watch the channel haven't actually subscribed yet. So if you've been enjoying the Star Wars content and would like to see more, force crush that subscribe button. A brief note before we get started. For this video, we will be mainly covering the designations of rank as applied to the Old Republic era. And though many of these titles carried through into the modern age of Star Wars, the Rule of Two era Sith largely dissipated the practice of ranking Sith individuals with only a few exceptions, but rest assured, we will be sure to note which of these aforementioned exceptions made their way into the era of the post-Banite Sith. A Sith apprentice is the baseline level for an entry-level Force user of the dark side, and the universality of the term means that this rank is one of the ones that survived through the centuries of evolution of the Sith Empire. This simply meant that a new Sith Lord had been inducted into the fold and was now formally being taught the ways of the dark side by a Sith Master. This is the first rank of the ancient Sith. While many apprentices would graduate to formal members, many notable individuals once held the rank of Sith Apprentice without ever moving any farther up the totem pole. Perhaps the most notable modern example of a Sith Apprentice was Asajj Ventress, who studied Sith practices and techniques under the tutelage of Darth Tyrannus, otherwise known as Count Dooku. Despite being a student of the dark arts, however, Ventress never attained the title of Darth, as Tyrannus' own master, Darth Sidious, ordered Ventress to be executed for her proximity to the Count, fearing the power that the two could combine against him. If Dooku had elected to enact the Rule of Two and assassinate Sidious, then he likely would have granted Ventress the title of Darth, and continued her training until he himself would be overthrown, as the Banite Sith era dictates. Contrary to popular belief, the term Sith in itself is actually a rank that is granted after an apprentice shows proficiency in their practices, and the Masters of the Old Republic elected to formally induct them into the Order as a member of the Sith. This is also why technically Ventress was never a true Sith. Where the apprentices could be compared to the younglings of the Jedi Order, the Sith as a title could be likened to that of a Jedi Padawan. Concerning the ancient era, of course, they still had much to learn and had a long road before them under the guidance of more experienced masters, but they now held an official rank within the Sith Order. One rank that has been long since lost to history is that of a Sith Marauder. A Sith Marauder would serve as a sort of foot soldier and made up the bulk of the Sith Lord's ranks. These Marauders were allowed to train one Padawan at a time, and most of the Sith regime was made up of Marauders who obeyed the commands of the higher-ups within the Sith. Formally recognized as seasoned members of the Order, the Marauders acted as the arm of the Sith, being used on missions and deployed by the High Council at the behest of the will of the ranking members. Following a Marauder's dedication to the cause and their ability to stand out amongst the rest of their peers, they had the opportunity to be promoted to that of a Lord. They are commonly cited as being formal masters of the dark side, and have served as Marauders for years under the grip of former Lords before them. This is of course where the term Sith Lord originates. These Lords would be able to take a step back from the fieldwork, and could turn their attention towards training the next generation of Sith forces. While Sith Marauders were permitted to train a single Padawan, Sith Lords, if they so desired, could train up to 3 if they had the time and chose to do so. There is no question to a Lord's loyalty, as their devotion to the Order had been all but proven at this point in time, and upon achieving the rank of a Sith Lord, they would be qualified to earn the title of Darth. The term Darth is perhaps one of the most iconic Sith monikers in all of Star Wars. It is a title that has withstood the test of time, designating only the strongest Sith Lords of the Order. In the post-Banite era, it was up to the discretion of just a single master, and the acting master in any given generation would grant the title to their Padawan only when they saw it fit to do so. This is why an apprentice such as Darth Maul earned the title of Darth. This allowed for much more individualized training, as a Sith apprentice would grow into to the rank of a Lord and then to a Darth under the guidance of just one person or being. Once attaining the rank of Darth, these Sith Lords were able to take on more freedoms and liberties within the Order, and they had an incredible amount of influence on the course of the Order as a whole, as there were very few Darths among the ancient Sith Empire. Sometimes it was even relegated to that of the Sith Emperor or the Dark Council. At this point, at least in Legends continuity, they would choose a name for themselves, while some would simply elect to use their given name for their Darth title. Many would choose their own different monikers that would be synonymous with their lineage, oftentimes leading to their given name to die out over the course of time. When a Sith Lord chose their Darth title, they believed that the dark side of the Force itself was speaking to them, and that their old given name no longer mattered. In Revenge of the Sith, and by proxy canon, Darth Sidious chooses the iconic name of Darth Vader at the behest of the fallen Jedi, Skywalker. This insinuates that in canon, it's far more common for a Sith Master to choose the title of their apprentice, instead of granting the apprentice the freedom to do so. But both instances have been seen. Once a Darth, a member of this rank could take on as many Padawans as they saw fit, and were regarded as not only masters of the dark side, but masters of the Force itself. While the Jedi acted as servants of the Force and as extensions of its will, the Sith manipulated the Force to accomplish their own desires. And this practice of bending the Force to the will of the user was an incredibly complex feat to master. The rank of Darth served as a title to signify that this individual had tamed the Force itself, and that the Force was now subservient to the Dark Lords. From here, there was only one more rank to attain, and that was the title of Emperor. The rank of Emperor could only ever be held by one individual who represented the head of the Sith, and the single master at the top of the Order. They were thought to be the cruelest and most evil that the Order had to offer, able to make the decisions that would steer the course of the entire Sith lineage, and even the galaxy itself. Perhaps the most notable example of this is Darth Sidious, otherwise known of course as Emperor Palpatine. While many believe this to represent his position at the head of the Empire, it served as a double meaning, both designating his rank within the Imperial regime as well as his position within the Sith Order, which at the time only consisted of himself and Darth Vader in accordance with the Rule of Two. After Darth Sidious, however, the ranking position largely died out as the Sith faced their final extinction, which we can see during the rise of the Knights of Ren, Kylo Ren, and the title itself simply dying out, as well as the Sith nearly dying out. There were no more titles simply because there were no more Sith to populate the ranks. Luke was able to call himself a Jedi Knight and assumed the role of Jedi Grandmaster because this title was passed down to him personally by a member of the previous Order. He was formally knighted by Master Yoda, who is still technically the acting Grandmaster of the Order, even though the Order no longer existed in any tangible fashion. However, the survived Emperor never wished to impart any Sith rank upon anybody else. But anyway, Acolytes, what do you think of this ranking system of the ancient Sith? And did you know that there were this many levels to the Sith hierarchy? And if not, which of these ranks surprised you the most? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it thoroughly. May the Force be with you, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.